July, NBC10. Count on it. On July 4th, we come together to recognize the America that began here in Philadelphia at Independence Hall. We celebrate our achievements and acknowledge the important work still to be done. From protests that sparked the beginning of our new nation centuries ago to the demonstrations of today.
I think this time, people are here for real change.
In 2020, the Declaration of Independence is now what it was in 1776, an evolving document designed to protect the rights and freedoms of all. This year is like no other. Set against the backdrop of a global pandemic and a fight for social justice, we see our citizens still taking action to ensure a more perfect union. Frontline workers lead the way to save the sick from COVID-19 and search for a cure in a country in quarantine. We learn new ways to connect in a time of fear and uncertainty. And then, 8 minutes and 46 seconds, it touches off a rallying cry across the nation.
No justice, no peace.
Equal justice for all. It is heard in our diverse neighborhoods, forcing us to take an uncomfortable look at ourselves.
You can't put words to something like this. You can't.
Our history, our founding principles, and where we continue to fail to meet them. As we look toward change in the birthplace of freedom, let's unite to fulfill for everyone the promises made in the Declaration of Independence. You're watching the Celebration of Freedom, sponsored by Freedom Mortgage. Mortgages for the American dream. Freedom for you.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Tracy Davidson.
And I'm Vi Sikaham. Happy 4th of July, everybody. You're watching NBC10's presentation of the Celebration of Freedom.
NBC10 News and Telemundo 62 share your personal stories of hope, struggle, and resilience every day.
Yeah, tonight we celebrate the beginnings of that pursuit of freedom and where that struggle stands now.
We start with the ceremonial ringing of the bell, representing the 13 original colonies and paying tribute to the sacrifice of so many for the freedoms we enjoy today.
Happy birthday, America! I'm Sheila Hess, City Representative here at Independence Visitor Center in the heart of Philadelphia's historic district. Welcome to the Celebration of Freedom produced by the City of Philadelphia every year on our nation's Independence Day. And we're so glad you're with us in the city of brotherly and sisterly love tonight, and hope your loved ones are together with you as you're watching at home. Now, normally I would be welcoming you live from Independence Hall right over there in front of a large crowd, but instead we have reimagined ways to still celebrate together and honor those who are making our city, our nation, and the world a better place. Our daily lives have changed dramatically over the last few months, and emotions and spirits have not always been carefree or for celebration. And while we acknowledge the birth of our nation in Philadelphia and the call in 1776 for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, we also know our nation is a work in progress, and there is more to be done to make sure everyone is free to pursue those ideals. Now, more than ever, we need to focus our attention to the racial and social injustices in our communities and our country. We salute those committed to the pursuit of a more equitable and just America, and all the individuals working together to make change happen. And so today, we most certainly do have something to celebrate: the continued pursuit of freedom. And on this day, the Declaration of Independence was signed 244 years ago. Our democracy is still an inspiration and beacon of hope for people everywhere. In fact, a little later, you'll hear from some special guests who will be sharing parts of the Declaration with us. Tonight, we also highlight our first responders and frontline workers who have awed and inspired us all over the last few months with their courage and tireless efforts, sacrifices, and service to others. The countless nurses, doctors, medical staff, hospital, cleaning, and support staff, our firefighters, police, and public safety professionals, the grocery and pharmacy workers, restaurant workers who made and delivered meals, transportation workers, and so many more. We are honored to be paying them tribute for their courage and service later in the program. On this special day in our historic and vibrant city, I am so proud to represent a place that is home to so many diverse communities. As our founder, William Penn, intended, a place of loving welcome, acceptance, and tolerance, where all people might live in harmony and prosper. Tonight, I'm reminded of what William Penn once said: "Let us see what love can do." And we send that message out today during the Celebration of Freedom on America's birthday. So thanks for joining us tonight as we celebrate our rich history, the creative spirit, and pursuit of freedom. Happy Independence Day from Philadelphia.
Thank you, Sheila Hess. Happy Independence Day to all of you. You're watching NBC10 and Telemundo 62's presentation of Celebration of Freedom. We'll be right back.
Freedom Mortgage is committed to fostering home ownership in America and is proud to be one of the top VA lenders helping military families in the United States. Contact Freedom Mortgage to help you achieve your American dream of home ownership. Log on to freedommortgage.com.
Other schools ask if your child is doing their best in school. We ask if your school is doing what's best for your child. Other schools ask why parents aren't more involved in school. We ask if you've actually been given the chance. Other schools ask students to sit at a desk all day. We ask why learning can't be hands-on. This is how school should work. This is CCA, the school that's preparing students for life. Join us at ccaeducate.me.
America, this is our time to shine with spectacular savings at the Hyundai 4th of July sales event.
Lease a Tucson for $149 a month or get 0% APR for 72 months with no payments for 90 days. Offers end July 6th.
Wawa Hoagie Day is a 28-year tradition that has fed so many and been a celebration of our city. This year's Hoagie Day was another huge success. Wawa associates from 900 stores built and donated 45,000 hoagies to those serving our communities, from first responders and healthcare heroes to our veterans and so many more.
From all of us at Wawa, we want to thank everyone serving our communities. It's in times like these when our everyday heroes truly make a difference.
This Wawa Welcome America special broadcast is supported by Wawa, Independence Blue Cross, Live Nation. Visit Philadelphia. COMCAST NBC Universal. And City of Philadelphia. You're watching the Celebration of Freedom, sponsored by Freedom Mortgage. Mortgages for the American dream. Freedom for you.
Independence Hall is a reminder of our nation's birth, a declaration of daring independence that forged a nation. Let's go there now for a special message from National Park Superintendent Cindy McLeod.
Good evening from Independence Square. We're just outside Independence Hall, and today, July 4th, we mark the birth of the United States of America. Happy birthday, everybody. I'm Cynthia McLeod, Superintendent of your National Park in Philadelphia, Independence National Historical Park, and I'm honored to welcome you to this special virtual 4th of July celebration. There is no more appropriate place to commemorate the 4th of July than here at Independence National Historical Park. I bring you greetings from all of the men and women of the park staff, and we would normally be welcoming thousands of you to this shrine of brick, granite, glass, and wood, where our country's founding documents were introduced, debated, adjusted, and signed. Just because no one is crossing its threshold these days does not mean that the message inherent in the promise of our Declaration of Independence is any less important. Our history is still real, relevant, accessible, and current. For many, Independence Hall is a shrine for self-government and freedom from tyranny. It was here at Independence Hall that a brave group of men from 13 colonies gathered to vote on an astonishing proposition to send to the King of England, that these united colonies are and of right ought to be free and independent states. The founders put their lives on the line for a document that expressed their ideals. After many robust and fiery debates on a hot July day, they were finally ready. You know their names, people like Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, and John Hancock, and let's please remember the women beside them, people like Deborah Franklin and Abigail Adams, among others. The Colonists' Declaration of Independence was signed in 1776, and the impact was felt around the world. 11 years later, the founders gathered again in Independence Hall. 55 delegates from 13 quite separate states discussed, debated, finally compromised to reach agreement on a document that created the framework of our government and our country, the Constitution of the United States. The government that they envisioned was radical for the time. They came up with ideas for a republic with very democratic principles that no one at that time was sure would work out. A government for the people, by the people. Our founders and those who have improved our government over the centuries were daring and brave. They thought not necessarily of themselves, but how they could participate and manage our experiment in democracy. They feared too much power in any one branch of government, especially the executive branch. They were people of science and learning. Our nation, our people have survived disease, adversity, and strife. Through courage and determination, strength and resilience, our people have persevered. Our founders started a government that is both fragile and strong, its success depending on we the people. And indeed, there has been much building necessary to achieve the true meaning of the phrase, all men are created equal. It was Frederick Douglass in 1852 who eloquently focused the nation on civil rights and abolition of slavery with his "What to the Slave is the 4th of July" speech, which he chose to give not on the 4th of July, but the 5th. Douglass pointed out that the celebration of independence only reveals the immeasurable distance between us. The blessings in which you this day rejoice are not enjoyed in common. The rich inheritance of justice, liberty, prosperity, and independence bequeathed by your fathers is shared by you, not me. The 4th of July is yours, not mine. You may rejoice, I must mourn. However, even Douglass drew encouragement from the declaration of the great principles it contains and the genius of American institutions, predicting that a change has now come over the affairs of mankind, as he called for an end to slavery. Yes, 13 years later, slavery was abolished in 1865 when the 13th Amendment to the Constitution was passed. But that did not bring justice to African Americans. Bringing justice is still underway with the help of the people's right to free speech and the freedom of the press. Those rights, enshrined in the First Amendment to the Constitution, are active today to push us to fulfill the promissory note of the Declaration of Independence. The protests and events of the past few weeks, centering on the phrase Black Lives Matter, remind us that this promise of liberty and equality for all has failed for generations. We recognize that we and our nation are still a work in progress. Even as we in the National Park Service look back to bring the stories of the founders to the present, we look also to bring the stories of the pioneers of civic reform throughout the centuries and throughout all to the present for the ongoing march to justice. Congress in 1948 gave the National Park Service the responsibility to protect and preserve Independence Hall, the Liberty Bell, and all the sites and collections that comprise Independence National Historical Park. The story of independence is the story of the United States of America and the story of every American, of each one of us. We in the Park Service have a firm commitment to the whole history of the American Revolution and the growth of our country, with voices from everyone, and as inclusively and accurately as possible, incorporating the stories of both free and enslaved Africans, indigenous people, and women. I hope you've seen the President's House exhibit at 6th and Market Streets or taken a tour of Independence Hall to see how the park has incorporated recent scholarship and how we reflect some stories of interest to us all as Americans and to visitors from around the world. The qualities exhibited by the founders and subsequent reformers, strength and courage, wisdom, determination and resiliency, and the principles of freedom, liberty, and democracy are part of our character as a nation, as a country, as a people, and as individuals. Independence Hall and the Liberty Bell stand as symbols of this national character to millions of people around the world. This character has helped our nation survive numerous challenges since 1776 and guides us today as we work together in pursuit of a more perfect union. Today, the 4th of July, is our opportunity to remember our history, celebrate our freedom, and the best of our nation. And what better place to do it than right here at Independence National Historical Park? We so look forward to welcoming you back in person very soon. In the meantime, let's cheer together 3 times. Hip, hip, huzzah! Hip, hip, huzzah! Hip, hip, huzzah! Happy birthday, happy 4th of July, everybody.
When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume the powers of the earth, the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. To secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. Whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these rights, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government.
Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes. Accordingly, all experience have shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed.
But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security.
We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America and General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by authority of good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be free and independent states. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Powerful voices bring life to the Declaration of Independence and to the important work still to be done. More to come when we return. Freedom Mortgage will present the Celebrate Freedom Award.
Here's to the road ahead. Trust Toyota to be here for you.
With attractive customer cash deals like $500 on Toyota Highlander, $1,000 on RAV4 or Corolla, and $1,250 customer cash on Camry. We'll also defer your first payment up to 90 days. Visit your local Toyota dealer or shop and buy online today.
All from the brand you trust today and tomorrow. Toyota.
The future of hard seltzer is here.
Life is unexpected. Routines have changed, and shopping looks different. But low prices remain essential. At Giant, we're extending our best deals longer to be there for you when you need them most.
The mission at Tasty Cake is to make happy happen every day. So we were challenged with the question, what if Tasty Cake just fell from the sky? So, we gave it a shot. First up, classic neighborhood ballpark. In 3, 2, 1, go. Ha! It works! Okay, where to next? How about any place where someone could use a little boost of delicious happiness? They sure look happy to us. Mission accomplished. Tasty Cake. Make happy happen.
Wawa Hoagie Day is a 28-year tradition that has fed so many and been a celebration of our city. This year's Hoagie Day was another huge success. Wawa associates from 900 stores built and donated 45,000 hoagies to those serving our communities, from first responders and healthcare heroes to our veterans and so many more.
Thank you, healthcare heroes. We hope these hoagies make your day. Happy Hoagie Day!
You're watching the Celebration of Freedom, sponsored by Freedom Mortgage. Mortgages for the American dream. Freedom for you.
Now, the Celebrate Freedom Award. This nationwide contest drew more than 1,200 submissions from active and retired military service members.
Freedom Mortgage isn't an ordinary mortgage company. They believe in helping people realize the American dream of owning a home and are committed to fostering home ownership. At the core of their beliefs is that an inclusive culture bonds them together to help one customer, one family at a time, and ultimately makes the communities they serve stronger. As a top VA home loan lender, they take great pride in serving service members and their families. This year, they are presenting the Celebrate Freedom Award and $15,000 to an active or retired military service member. They asked veterans and their families to share their personal stories in the hashtag Celebrate Freedom contest. The nationwide contest drew 1,200 submissions from service members across the country, all sharing what freedom means to them. The response was overwhelming, with each nominee sharing stories that moved and inspired all who read them. You can see select stories at freedommortgage.com. But now we get ready to find out whose submission won hearts and is taking home the grand prize.
Freedom Mortgage is proud to be the presenting partner of the Wawa Welcome America Celebration of Freedom ceremony. Freedom Mortgage was established in 1990, and last year we began working on this program as a way to celebrate the company's 30th anniversary. Freedom means different things to different people. To us, freedom's our name. As a top VA home lender, the military community is a big part of our customer base. We thought who better to help us celebrate freedom than those who protect our freedoms, so we created this contest and asked our VA customers and the military community, what does freedom mean to you? Since last year, so much has changed. When we put the contest out there, we were surprised that we received 1,200 entries in from military veterans and other people across the United States. So we took those 1,200 entries and we narrowed it down to 50, narrowed it down to 10, then narrowed it down to 4, and then narrowed it down to 1. And the winner has a remarkable story that we were very touched by. Army veteran Danielle Davis Murray wrote about freedom, its purpose for all to enjoy life, the importance of safety, and serving others, and to act freely without physical, psychological, or environmental limitations, to eliminate threats and the importance of a safe environment. She spoke about community and the positive impacts an individual can make. Her entry was beautiful, but on the day she submitted the entry, she was thinking about her brother, Specialist Henry Mayfield Jr., who, while eliminating terrorist threats overseas so others could have freedom, lost his life. Life is a gift, and so is freedom. I'm so very honored to present this inaugural Celebrate Freedom Award to Danielle Davis Murray.
Hi, my name is Danielle Davis Murray. I'm a U.S. Army veteran. I served 4.5 years in the military and completed 1 tour in Afghanistan. In addition to me serving, my younger brother, Henry Mayfield Jr., also served in the military up until the time of his death. My service in the military and my brother's death is what influenced my perspective on life and personal freedom. And to me, freedom means being able to act freely without physical, mental, or environmental limitations, eliminating threats such as terror, racism, and conflict, and being able to live life freely without being in fear. I would like to start off by thanking Freedom Mortgage for giving me the opportunity to tell my story as well as my brother's story. Thank you so much, Freedom Mortgage.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of gray, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea, from sea to shining sea.
Coming up, the Wawa Foundation Hero Award winner. See which local nonprofit will take home the prize. You're watching Celebration of Freedom, sponsored by Freedom Mortgage. Mortgages for the American dream. Freedom for you. Philadelphia. It's rich with history, and history is made by those willing to reshape it. The President's House offers a glimpse into the lives of enslaved African Americans who were a part of George Washington's household. Did you know that Elizabeth Freeman was the first enslaved woman to sue for her freedom? Her courage opened the doors for others to help put an end to slavery. Celebrate our diverse history in historic Philadelphia. Supported by Wawa. Proud to celebrate our history makers and Philadelphia heroes.
The moment has come to deal with the denial of the promise of this nation, made to so many. Because if it weren't clear before, it's clear now. This country wasn't built by Wall Street bankers and CEOs. It was built by the great American middle class. Healthcare workers, docs, nurses, delivery truck drivers, grocery store workers. You know, we've come up with a new phrase for them: essential workers. We need to do more than praise them. We need to pay them. As president, it's my commitment to all of you to lead on these issues and to listen. For that's what the presidency is: the duty to care for all of us, not just those who vote for us, but all of us. This job is not about me. It's about you. It's about us. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
This Wawa Welcome America special broadcast is supported by Toyota. Freedom Mortgage, County Line Fence, Tasty Cake, CCA, Vital Support, and City Council Philadelphia, Mask Up Philly. You're watching the Celebration of Freedom, sponsored by Freedom Mortgage. Mortgages for the American dream. Freedom for you.
Welcome back. The Wawa Foundation Hero Award celebrates local nonprofit foundations. There are 4 deserving foundations looking to take home the award. Here's what they're all about.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here today celebrating our nation's birthday and the shared spirit of our community heroes. I can't think of a better time to recognize the extraordinary and deserving nonprofits and the heroic people behind them. They serve this community with boundless compassion, and they care and deserve our praise, our support, and our heartfelt gratitude. And as the 2020 Wawa Welcome America Festival comes to a close, I want to reflect on how important it was to all of us that the festival went on this year, even as a virtual one. While some of the largest sporting, social, and celebratory traditions were canceled this year, it was important to all of us at Wawa that this celebration would go on. Although we'll all miss the physical connections and being in the same place, I have a sense that the emotional and the spiritual connections of our teams, of our partners, sponsors, and supporters are stronger this year than ever before. It's been a wonderful week of meaningful virtual programs, inspiring moments, and heartfelt emotion. I'm always in awe of how people in our hometown of Philadelphia always seem to rise to the occasion to show the world the strength of human spirit and hope. From our founding to now, the true story of Philadelphia has really been the story of everyday people doing extraordinary things to make this world a better place. We call them everyday heroes. And to all of us at Wawa, one of the most important parts of this week is recognizing the strength and resilience of some of those everyday heroes with our annual Wawa Foundation Hero Award. These are the people that we don't see in the headlines or see on the red carpets. They are true servant leaders who get up every day to think of others. They may not be famous, but to the most vulnerable neighbors and communities whose lives depend on them, they are the most important people in this world. And this year, their heroic efforts took on an all-new meaning. At a time when most people were gripped by fear for the health and care for their own families, these organizations stepped up to serve others tirelessly, selflessly. And having served as an essential provider for the past several months, we've only have the highest admiration, support, and sincere gratitude for their service to others. We're proud to celebrate them today and to shine a light on their mission. This year, our Hero Award recognizes those nonprofits committed to serving the Philadelphia area by providing services to protect others, preserve independence, and provide care and life-saving support to those in need. And with that, we are thrilled to present the 4th annual Wawa Foundation Hero Award as part of Wawa Welcome America. Let's learn a bit more about our 4 finalists.
I'm Mike Dahl. I'm Executive Director at Broad Street Ministry. At Broad Street Ministry, we try to do 2 things. First thing is we try to just meet people's most basic needs. And so that's providing meals, and it's providing clothing and personal hygiene items, providing a mailing address to over 3,000 people. And so with that 50,000, we could just ease the suffering of so many people that, quite frankly, were having a tough time before the pandemic and now are truly, truly facing tremendous trauma. If you open up a meal in this city, because of the tremendous hunger that exists in the city, people show up. And so very quickly, the meal started to grow, and one meal became 2 meals. And then the congregation decided that this really was kind of their calling. We don't necessarily think of ourselves as heroes, but we do think of the guests that come to us every day as heroes. And so as long as I thought about it as lifting up the guests, I thought, well, okay, then that makes sense to me.
I'm Kathy Desmond from People's Emergency Center. PEC's mission is to nurture families, empower youth, strengthen neighborhoods, and drive change. And using housing as a platform, we offer multidimensional solutions for addressing the social, economic, health, and quality of life challenges that impact our communities. We provide social services, housing, community organizing, youth programming, early childhood education, and public policy work. Our primary population is families and youth at risk of homelessness or experiencing homelessness. It would allow us to continue the work that we've been doing, especially over the last several months since COVID. There's been such a desperate need for food and, a lot of food insecurity in the communities that we serve. And so we've been serving thousands of meals a week, and this would enable us to continue doing that to the folks that need it most. We have an amazing, talented, compassionate staff and dedicated board, and this is just kind of testimony to their hard work. So yeah, we're really, really excited about this.
I'm Major Tawny Cowan-Zanders with the Greater Philadelphia Salvation Army. The Salvation Army is serving within shelters, making sure that people have beds to sleep in and they don't have to be afraid on the street. We have housing for senior citizens. We have an anti-human trafficking program. And especially during this COVID time, we are feeding individuals. Since March 13th, we have been able to serve over 1.6 million meals to the community. So $50,000, it's countless the amount of people that we'll be able to help. We lean in. It doesn't matter what we're facing. It doesn't matter what's happening outside. Our goal is to be there for our community in whatever capacity we can be. What we do at the Salvation Army, we don't do it for applause. We do it because we want to make sure that every person knows that they're valued. So we were excited and humbled.
I am Elwood Hungarter from VNA Philadelphia. Overwhelming excitement here. We take so much pride in what we do every day at VNA Philadelphia. We are an organization that has been here for 134 years. We have a really strong mission-driven organization. We're the only freestanding nonprofit hospice inpatient in Philadelphia. We serve patients in a lot of what we call food deserts, and they don't have a lot of available food and access to food. So we started a very unique food pantry program here at the VNA where we actually have our clinicians deliver food. I just can't tell you how appreciative we would be to Wawa to be able to receive this award. We really thank you. And we thank you just for the recognition of just having the opportunity to tell our story.
During the past several weeks, the public has voted, and the organization receiving the highest number of votes will receive the Wawa Foundation Hero Award Gold Medal today. But before I announce our top winner, please join me in congratulating all 4 of our finalists, each of which will receive a grant of at least $10,000 from the Wawa Foundation. Let's hear it for these incredible and inspiring organizations and all the work they do to support and inspire and encourage communities throughout Philadelphia. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the 2020 Wawa Hero Award Gold Medalist and recipient of a $50,000 grant from the Wawa Foundation is, please join me in congratulating Broad Street Ministry. Thank you and congratulations again to all of our Hero Award finalists, and happy 4th of July.
Congratulations to the winner and all of the nominees. You are doing some great work.
Now let's take a moment to listen to the Arado Brothers, a local group with a lot of talent.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the
the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Up next, a look at the fight for equality, what we learned from our past to shape our future. Then, Philly's own sisterly love with a medley you don't want to miss. You're watching Celebration of Freedom, sponsored by Freedom Mortgage. Mortgages for the American dream. Freedom for you. Let's make history together at Wawa Welcome America. Tonight at 8, Grammy Award winner Cynthia Erivo and hitmaker Jason Derulo take the stage live at the Met, and you can only see it on NBC10. Sponsored by your local tri-state Toyota dealers. Stream NBC10 for free on Roku and Apple TV. Live local newscasts, in-depth investigations, and your most accurate first alert forecast. Plus, original Philly stories you won't find anywhere else. Add NBC10 to Roku and Apple TV today.
BetRivers.com.
Freedom Mortgage is committed to fostering home ownership in America and is proud to be one of the top VA lenders helping military families in the United States. Contact Freedom Mortgage to help you achieve your American dream of home ownership. Log on to freedommortgage.com. The future of hard seltzer is here.
In the fight against COVID-19, we are grateful to those treating the disease, but there are others too. At the bedside and in the hallway, in the store and on the bus, from the delivery route to the mailbox, down wires to broken pipes, they are doing their part to keep our region running. These aren't just essential workers, they are our family, friends, and neighbors. Together, we will beat COVID-19.
BetRivers.com.
You're watching the Celebration of Freedom, sponsored by Freedom Mortgage. Mortgages for the American dream. Freedom for you.
What a show we've had. As we look to the future, we need to acknowledge our past and work together to create a future that includes everyone.
Yeah, we've watched the unity transpire as communities come together to fight for equality and justice for everyone.
There's no tension in art, and we are here today, peacefully protesting with a paintbrush. Welcome, you're just in time.
A vision of healing and hope through art.
Guide the edge of the brush.
A simple gesture giving new life to this storefront in North Philly.
We found some inspiration and we went with it.
The group Walls for Justice is trying to inspire change after hundreds of businesses remain boarded up in Philadelphia. It's the aftermath of several days of looting following the killing of George Floyd. The team's vibrant colors and messages are sprinkled throughout the city.
I am starting to understand how art is, pivotal for connecting with other people.
Samuel Rodriguez watched thousands take to the streets across Philadelphia. He felt it was time to be a part of the movement in his own way.
As a Hispanic, I have also been, targeted and marginalized, and I know what it feels like.
They want anyone who walks down Broad Street to see the message of Nelson Mandela. It is in your hands to create a better world for all who live in it. It's a quote selected by husband and wife business owners who also see art as a way to bring people together.
We wanted to show that it doesn't matter where you really come from, unity can happen.
Across the city in South Philly, another group trying to bring about change through art. The Young Flames, a rap group of kids no older than 12, have been activists against gun violence. These boys are now also focused on racism and policing.
That could have been me. Yeah, that could have been me instead of George Floyd just because of my skin color.
They organized a kneel for justice at their neighborhood park. It was their way of fighting back. These 10 boys also joined protesters around City Hall earlier this month, some lying on the ground face down in honor of George Floyd. The Young Flames believe they could be the generation to spark a change.
We just want everybody to feel safe walking to the store, no matter where you're going, when you're in the car. It felt good because we were fighting for people like us.
Art, leading the way for hope and positivity in Philadelphia. Aaron Baskerville, NBC10 News.
If that didn't get you up and ready to celebrate, our next presentation will. Mayor Jim Kenney will present the Magis Award. Let's meet the winner.
This Independence Day, we continue a tradition in the city of Philadelphia. It's the 5th year for the Mayor's Magis Award. The Latin word magis translates into the greater universal good and refers to the philosophy of doing more for others. This is a concept near and dear to the heart of the mayor of the city of Philadelphia. During the last few months, he and his staff have seen firsthand so many ordinary Philadelphians going above and beyond. It's our great honor to introduce Mayor Jim Kenney.
Thank you for allowing me to join you tonight. And a special thanks to Wawa Welcome America and the Office of the City Representative for making all of this possible. I also want to recognize Freedom Mortgage, NBC10, and Telemundo 62 for their support. Tonight's program is a celebration of freedom, but in America, we must face the reality that even in 2020, not all our residents are able to experience the true freedom this country was said to be founded on. The concept of freedom has different meanings for everyone. Over the last month, we have seen and heard the cries of thousands of Philadelphians demanding change here at home and across the country. As we celebrate freedom tonight, it is important for us to remember that we are still in the pursuit of freedom for all. We still have a great deal of work to do, but I want to make it clear, Black lives matter in Philadelphia, and I'm here to help ensure freedom and prosperity for all our residents. In recent months, we also experienced another historic time for our country as the COVID-19 pandemic changed our day-to-day lives and will continue to impact our city and how we interact with the world going forward. For 5 years now, we have presented the Magis Award to those who best exemplify what we value as a community, a city, and a nation. In 2016, we recognized the 64 students of Edison High School who lost their lives in Vietnam, more than any other high school in our country. And the next year, we honored Ralph Galati, a Vietnam War veteran and former prisoner of war. In 2018, we honored a brave young transgender woman of color, Gianna Graves, who advocates for those so often forgotten and even targeted with violence. Last year, we presented the Magis Award to Connor Barwin and his foundation, Make the World Better, which connects people and neighborhoods by revitalizing parks and playgrounds. This year, we could not pick just one individual or specific organization to honor. Tonight, instead, we are happy to honor and recognize all those who have been working on the front lines of this devastating pandemic, for those who continue to work bravely in very uncertain times to make sure that our basic needs for survival were not hindered. We thank you. From doctors and nurses to grocery store workers and delivery personnel to sanitation workers and teachers and so many more. You were essential to helping slow down the virus, keeping us healthy, safe, and comforted during an unsettling time. And we know that you continue to be essential to our city's fabric. even as we reopen. In fact, you were always essential, and we owe you all a debt of gratitude for your service. This year, we have partnered with Mural Arts Philadelphia for a special recognition. It is my honor to unveil a new mural being created as part of the 2020 Magis Award. Thank you to artist Eric Oakday for your vision, talent, and passion for this project. The mural will pay tribute to everyone who has contributed during the pandemic, as well as the advocates who are raising their voices for justice, all through the lens of young people, our hope for a brighter future. Thank you again to all those who have been on the front lines, those who have been protesting for racial and social justice, and those who have been teaching us along the way. Philadelphia is and will be a better city because of you. I know it. Happy 4th of July.
Wow, what an incredible and meaningful tribute in celebration of our city's July 4th. We're at the end of our celebration of freedom, but the party is just getting started. We have a very special concert coming on right after this, so don't go away. But first, the annual Wawa Welcome America celebration would not be possible without the incredible support of our partners, along with the City of Philadelphia. And on behalf of our mayor, Jim Kenney, and the City of Philadelphia, thank you for joining us for a city's special July 4th celebration. Happy birthday, America!
What a great show and celebration of our city and the 4th of July.
And the fun is only just beginning. Stay where you are, because up next, live, Wawa Welcome America's July 4th concert, featuring Cynthia Erivo and Jason Derulo.
Great is